you know Dragon Ball Z, like how they have different Saiyan levels. That's literally what how I could describe it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Shawnee the Creative. I don't usually do intros, but I decided to, trying something new. This video, according to the title, is called Desire Comes to You Through Fear. And basically what that means is, think about any time you've ever met someone, or even yourself if you've experienced jealousy, hate, or envy. Those emotions, what is hate? Okay, you're hating on someone. Jealousy, you're jealous of someone. Envy, you're envious of someone or something that someone has. You know, maybe someone's personality, maybe someone's physical appearance. Those emotions usually are associated with lack. You know, it's because you do not have that, and so it's creating this negative emotion on the inside. I'm gonna get deeper with this though, right? So I always say hatred, jealousy, and envy is love in disguise. The reason I say that, I'll use an example to help conceptualize it. Whenever you think about a person that's really outgoing, right? They have so many friends, everyone likes them. They are a very likable person. They talk to everyone. They're very, like I said, friendly. They know how to talk to everyone, and they consider everyone their friend as well. And from your perception, you're like, oh, that's fake, you know, like, how can someone like everyone? Like, you're not a real person, that's so fake. Like, I don't like that type of stuff. That's so, like, phony or whatever, yada, yada, yada. What's really going on is you want to be outgoing, and you also want to be able to talk to everyone. You know, you probably are holding on to that because you've had some type of experience in the past with people to where now you have this negative connotation and these negative emotions about that, and you haven't healed from it, and so it's showing up in the jealousy, envy, and hatred. But in reality, it's like you really love that aspect about that person, but you feel like you don't have it, and you feel like you don't have it because, like I said, you're holding on to all of those negative.
The other thing I was going to say is that you also have a fear of being hurt again because of those things in the past you haven't healed from, and that's also why you feel like you can't necessarily engage, because you don't want to have the same thing happen again.
Emotions from the past, but once you heal that, you'll realize, oh, I can do it too. And how this correlates to desire is this person really desires to be an outgoing person. This person really desires to be able to freely express themselves to everyone, and to talk to everyone, and to be friends with everyone, and for everyone to like them. But they're still holding on to, maybe someone did them really wrong in the past. You know, they have certain traumas, relationship issues in the past. You know, obviously people hurting them, right? They're still holding on to that. And so their judgment is completely clouded when they meet people, and they basically end up self-sabotaging. And in situations like that, like I said, they literally see somebody with a quality that they also want to have, but they're disguising it in hatred. They don't know that they're doing this though. It's happening subconsciously. And just so anybody, like, you could look at your own life and see, okay, where am I feeling some type of way about somebody? Like, oh, is this person growing faster than me? Or is this person growing, period? Is this person trying something new? Like, maybe somebody just launched a business and you might have some feelings about that, and the whole time it's like you also want to do something just as great, and you also can, but again, you do not think that you do. So it's a desire that you have. And another aspect of this, in the sense that I mean, is, so whenever you're scared to do something, it's usually, it means you need to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll use an example, like the big chop, for example. If your hair is like not doing so well, and you've just had this like really scary feeling of like not wanting to just cut all your hair off, or to cut it, like do a big chop, even if it's not all of it, you know what I'm saying? You probably need to do it. You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, the more that you start following that, you'll start to see and understand that it really does come through fear. Like, the things that you want, it's like you have to overcome that feeling of fear. You have to overcome those obstacles, what you're scared of attempting, in order to actually get what you want. You know what I'm saying? And even if you don't succeed the first time you do it, at least you're able to like I said, overcome that and see that this is something that you want, and you'll learn from that situation. You'll be able to keep going, and it will get easier, right? And because literally, even my own self, there's so many different examples I could give where it was like I was literally scared to do it, but the whole time I really wanted to do it. And so I just stood on that. For example, like how I have a YouTube channel right now, or how I'm able to like talk to people the way that I am. And just a fun fact, I'm not sure if you noticed, but that example I keep giving, that literally was me. Like, I used to be the quietest person ever, and every time I used to see someone, like they were very outgoing and speaking to a bunch of people, I used to literally perceive that as that person being fake, or that person not being real or authentic. And the whole time it was really like you know what I'm saying, my throat chakra was burning, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was not speaking my truth. I was not, you know what I'm saying, I hadn't yet became the person that I was meant to become. Another thing too to think about, right? Well, even myself, right? Throughout this entire journey, what I kept realizing is, for example, I consider myself at a more elevated version of the same person, but just different. I'm still Shawnee, and I've always been Shawnee, but I was a lower version of myself in the past. And I noticed that each time I overcame something that I was afraid of, or I overcame something that I was scared to do, and I mean really scared to do, that I literally, you know, Dragon Ball Z, like how they have different Saiyan levels, that's literally what how I could describe it. Like, you just, I don't know the exact terminology, because I was gonna say add another layer to like the Saiyan or something, I don't know, but you know how like their hair grows, and whenever they go to like ultraviolet, it's like you know what I'm saying? So each time that you overcome something that you're scared of, there will be elevation that happens. And it seems like it's common sense when you say it, but like when you're scared of something, it's like, I had something happen in the past, and I did try to ignore that and act like it didn't happen because it wasn't happening anymore, right? But what I found was, throughout life, any interaction I would have, like specific interactions actually, there would be something that would start to overcome me, and I didn't know where it was coming from. Like, there would be this like intense fear about something, like the way I would react in the situation, even though nothing actually happened. And it was literally because different traumas that I had when I was a child started to resurface when I was an adult. And that also made me scared to attempt to do certain things. But literally when I attempted to do what I attempted, and I literally just did it, I just said, I'm just gonna do this, my entire life changed. And this is not a joke. It's like, that's really what you're supposed to do. Like, as far as a game being in the world, as far as like overcoming the simulation or beating this or whatever you want to call it, that's literally what it is. Like, I mean, it's very intricate, and this is a paradox, so it's like there's a lot more than just that, but that's like where you can start, because I always talk about like starting from the foundation. And honestly, I don't even like using that terminology as far as like, okay, my lower vibrational self, because when I really think about it, it's like all of that was meant to be. Like, lower vibrational is something that you wouldn't, it's not desirable, it's something that you wouldn't want to be, but like I literally would not have became the version of myself that I am now if it wasn't for that version. And so I'm happy that I went through that, because that led me to come through this, that entire journey, and like being able to look back at it and like being able to just see everything now. I'm so appreciative of that, because if it was not for that, I would not have been able to become this person. It's like literally that being in existence is why this can be in existence. Otherwise, I think it would be nothing. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. And I'm saying this to say that if you, whatever stage that you're at, like in the moment, you're not gonna feel like that. You're just gonna be like, really, you're not gonna be appreciative of it. It's not something that you're gonna be happy about, because there might be a lot of different trials going on and a lot of different things that you may not understand in that moment. But literally, once you start piecing the patterns together, you'll start to come to that realization. Like, that's literally how it happens. And it's really cool, you know, and I'm, like I said, and I actually do have like videos and like so many screenshots of how I used to think back then, and I may make a separate video just to give y'all, not that I need to prove anything, but just to give y'all an example. Like, this is literally how I used to think, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people right now in the world think that exact same way. And it's like, you see that, like, where I'm at now, right? And the fact that I can get even further than this too, that's another thing. Even though I consider myself, like, I've done a lot of work over time, I'm still not done. Like, there's always work that needs to be done, but it's just very cool. So back to the topic though, the desires come through fear. That's exactly what it is. Like, anytime you're scared of something, anytime you're avoiding doing something because you're afraid of it, you don't want to fail, there's some type of trigger on the inside of that. That's what you need to confront, and that's what you need to go after. Like, otherwise you're just going to be in the same spot. Like, you might think that you'll be able to do certain things by avoiding the things that you're afraid of, by avoiding the things that you're scared of, but it's not going to happen. What's going to happen is, like I just said, you're going to be in a repeated cycle. You're going to do the same things over and over again, and you're just going to allow your subconscious mind to rule you. And next thing you know, 5, 4, whatever, however many years pass, and you're still in the same spot. And you might be looking at other people either in the same age group or other people just around you where you maybe started at the same point, but now this person seems to be further, and you're like, why? And it's like, if you've been avoiding things, that could be what it is that's keeping you stuck in the same spot. So I'm making this video for anybody that needed to hear this, like anybody that this resonated with. This video came to you because you were meant to see it. Desire comes to you through fear. What does that mean? That means anytime you find yourself scared to do something, anytime you see yourself scared to overcome something, scared to attempt something because you don't want to fail, you don't want to experience not being successful, that means that you're supposed to do it, and there's something on the inside of that, and there's something past it. Once you are capable of passing and actually engaging and throwing yourself in the things that you are afraid of, there's going to be always what you wanted on the other side. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about anything astronomical, like anything crazy where it's like, oh, I'm scared to not be on Earth anymore, so does that mean that I should just go and not be on Earth? Because no, I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about something like, there's people literally scared to talk to other people. There's people on Earth that are scared to talk to another person. And that used to be me, but it's not me. It's the furthest from me now, and that's how I can like speak on this, because I know that it's true. If you're afraid of talking to people, that's your sign that you need to talk to people. The gift that you are going to receive once you start making yourself do that is beyond like words. Like, I can't even explain it. A desire, though, it's a desire that you'll have. Like, you'll realize it after you do it, though. And I'm just putting this video out for anybody that's maybe been in a cycle of avoidance, maybe been in a cycle of, you know, doing the same thing over and over again, just to not have to do those things that they're scared of doing, just to not have to do those things that they're afraid of failing in, just to not do those things that they find hard to do. This is your sign that you need to do it. I literally promise you, it's going to better your life. It's going to better you as a person. This is coming from somebody that spent like 3 years being that type of person, like where I did not like talking to people, I didn't like being around people, I didn't like speaking to people. I used to think certain types of ways, like all of that, like, but I've always deep down wanted to be an outgoing person, wanted to be a very loving person, wanted to just basically go back to my roots, go back to how I was, you know what I'm saying? Because like, think about children, that's kind of how children are. Like, before all the programming, they're very loving and caring and sharing and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And before I experienced certain types of trauma, it's like, that's how I was, and that's basically where I'm back to now. And that's why I'm so appreciative of that. And like, the whole process, it's like a whole movie or something, like the way that it happened. And it's very, I'm just glad to have everything that I want, and I'm making this video so that you can get everything you want as well. you got to go through those hard times. And you can do it too. Like, don't think that you can't do it just because it's hard, bro. Don't think you can't do it just because it's hard. It's going to be hard. Think of life like a video game in a sense. And think about a Sims character, and think about, like, I don't know, GTA. There's different levels, and the levels are hard, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to pass it. And anyways, the fact that it is hard, once you overcome that, that makes it so much more worth it. You understand what I'm saying? But if you resonated with anything I spoke about in this video, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing so that this video reaches someone who may also need to hear this message. Thank you and bye.